Speculation process, the gambler's debt spiral. The process originates in man's need and greed for easy money. The hook is an opportunity when the counterparty gives an option to make money based on speculation and not on any logical structure. Say an opportunity to invest in stocks or gamble through card game or casino game, or bet in cricket or commodities prices. When the bet is taken, at that time the emotional frame is expectation of success, which is based on ignorance rather than any real reason. Since hope of success is more than fear of failure, it is easy to act and take a bet. After taking the bet, forces determining the success or failure of the bet are beyond one's control. It becomes essentially a game of luck rather than an endeavor where one's efforts can make a difference. The locus of control is totally in the environment and not with the speculator. For example, where the needle will stop in the jackpot in casino is not in one's control, right? If the odds are against speculator, one is likely to lose more than win, as in casino jackpot. After one has lost the bet, the pain of loss is directly proportional to one's stake. Now the real psychological game starts. And its root is the process of coping with the loss one has suffered in the speculative bet. The sense of loss triggers a strong desire in one to recover or make good this loss. One once again falls back at the speculative bet as an easy opportunity to recover. Now, the risk-taking becomes higher because the urge to recover weakens the sense of precaution, hence the riskier bet is taken to make good the loss. This is the key process in the entire trap. Once again it is speculative and not in one's control. There is high probability of loss, a bigger one because the bet is riskier, this time too, like earlier attempt. Say, one loses again this time. The loss is bigger now and cumulatively much more. The same process as stated above comes to play again in a cyclic fashion. In this second time, the risk-taking goes up further because bigger loss has to be made up, coping with loss process, and all the precautionary mechanisms within one's psyche weaken further. And this cyclic process goes on and on till one bets heavier and loses everything or very heavily, like the loss of empire and even one's wife Draupadi in Mahabharata. Isn't it really tragic and sad? It seems nature has designed this behavioral process to teach man an important lesson. Work hard using your reason and emotion and do not try to get easy money through speculation. The speculative debt spiral can be summarized below. Bet lose, coping with loss, weakening of precautions, bigger risks, bigger bet, bigger loss, coping with bigger loss, bigger risk taking because precautionary process weakens still more, much bigger bet, much bigger loss. The spiral goes on. In sum, the coping with loss in betting triggers bigger risk taking that triggers bigger losses, and the vicious debt spiral is set in motion till one ends up losing substantially. This is gambler's debt spiral. Well, if it is a debt spiral, then why so many people are attracted to it, like in gambling, betting, casinos and stock trading? The speculative process is extremely seductive process. The allure of easy money it depicts, and maybe some early successes, hook the innocent prospect because of this need of money in man, the hook of greed for money, need for security, and ignorance of its seductive power. And gambling debt spiral has taken millions toward destruction and death since the dawn of human civilization. Will man ever learn? I doubt, because our education and training system does not educate children about such processes as yet. Moreover, it cannot be cognitively taught as it is essentially an emotional management process once it kicks in. Hopefully someday it will be part of our parenting and socializing process. In stock market, people have invented variety of ways to get out of this spiral and not be trapped in it. For example, there is a concept of stop loss. One bets, but the moment the bet goes against one by certain prefixed amount, the person gets out of the bet in terms of stock price. However, this coping is theoretically very nice, but when one is actually in that loss scenario, the desire to overcome loss tends to trap one in bigger bets. One keeps hearing all kinds of strategies traders are inventing to cope with this loss, but I wonder how many are really practically applicable because it involves emotional management and not logical thinking. The other aspect associated with gamblers' debt spiral is the post-traumatic stress disorder that develops in speculators after they lose heavily in bets. All these aspects of gambling need to be an important part of our children's education and training so that they are off these speculative addictions. All the same, there is a huge government-legitimized industry of stock and commodity speculators that one often wonders, do the world governments really understand the above dynamics and how speculation is harming the lives of citizens all over the world?